it's Hallie, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make a Sicilian classic, caponata. It's a sweet and sour eggplant stew, totally vegetarian, totally delicious, and it's so good, so easy to make, so good, so cheap, and I'm sure everybody's going to love it. So let's get cooking. I'm going to show you what you're going to need. You're going to need some chopped celery, some chopped bell pepper, some chopped onions, some pitted and chopped Kalamata olives, some dry golden raisins. You're going to need some capers, some sugar, red wine vinegar, crushed or diced plum tomatoes, and you're also going to need, of course, the queen of the dish, which is the eggplant. And now what I've done here is I put the egg, I cut it up into cubes, about 1-inch cubes, and I put it in a colander, and I sprinkled it with about a 1/4 cup of salt. And I've just mixed it together. Then I put it in, left it in the colander, put a plate on top of that, and lots of weights. You want to weigh it down. And what it did was it drew out all of the bitter liquid that's in the eggplant. Because if you get an eggplant that's got a lot of seeds, chances are it's going to be bitter. So my eggplant had a lot of seeds, so I salted it for about an hour. All the liquid came out. I rinsed it, and then I patted dry. So now it's ready to be sauteed. And you're also going to need some olive oil, salt and pepper, and just a few fresh basil leaves just to make it taste extra delicious. So let's head over to the stove and start sauteing our vegetables. I have about 3 tablespoons of regular olive oil. You could use extra virgin olive oil if you wanted to. Preheating in this pan over medium heat. And I'm going to add in my onion, my peppers, and my celery. And I'm going to let these saute. Look at those colors. You know it's going to be good just looking at those colors. What I'm going to do, though, really quickly, is I'm going to just season it just a bit with salt and pepper, because salt draws out the moisture in the vegetables and it makes them cook down a little bit faster. And the pepper just tastes good. Putting the heat up to medium-high. I'm going to let these cook for about 6 to 7 minutes until nicely translucent, and then we're going to add in our eggplant and remaining ingredients. My vegetable mixture has been cooking for about 5 minutes, and it's perfectly cooked. Now I'm going to add something that I didn't have in my list of ingredients, and it's just going to be a pinch of hot pepper flakes. I don't want to make it too spicy, but I like that spicy note in the background with the sweet vegetables and a salty capers. Now I'm going to add in my eggplant. Give this a nice mix like that. And now this is going to have to cook for another 3 to 4 minutes. You want the eggplant to get started to cook before we add the tomatoes and rest of the ingredients. It's been about 3 minutes since I've added my eggplant, and you can tell everything is perfectly cooked at this point. So now we're going to add in our crushed or diced tomatoes. These are really nice and chunky, which is exactly what I want. And we're going to add in our golden raisins. And these are going to plump up in the liquid, and they're going to be so good. Now, caponata is typically an original Sicilian eggplant stew. It's very thick and dense, and you can serve it with pasta, you can serve it with polenta, over polenta. My favorite way of eating it is just with a really nice crusty piece of bread. It makes like the most amazing sandwich you'll ever have. Now it's a sweet and sour eggplant stew. Now the sweetness comes from the raisins and of course the sweetness of the vegetables, the celery, the onion, and the peppers are naturally sweet. And then we're going to add in a tablespoon of sugar just to enhance that. And then the sour is going to come from the capers, the olives, and a little bit of red wine vinegar that we're going to add. It is so addicting. It's a great dish to make and serve, but it's 100 times better if you serve it the next day. Everything just gets to know each other a bit more, and it gets so good. Now we're going to let this cook medium-high heat for about 20 minutes. You want everything to be nice and thick, and then we're going to taste it for seasoning, because remember, we seasoned the vegetables before we put them in, but we had also salted the eggplant, so I don't want to have everything be too salty. So once this is cooked in about 20 minutes, I'm going to try it, and I'm going to see how much, just to your taste. And I'm going to season it, put a little bit of basil on there, and then we're going to dig in. This is so good. It smells amazing. So let this go for 20 minutes. This has been cooking for about 20 minutes. Now I'm going to add in the Kalamata olives. We're going to add in the capers. A teeny bit of sugar, about a tablespoon. And our red wine vinegar. It's good. Give this a toss. Oh, the smell. The smell. Let this cook for another minute. Put some fresh basil leaves in there. Okie doke. I turn the heat down just a tad. It smells divine. Let this cook for another minute. Then we're going to bring it to the table. Serve it up. Took this off the stove. I'm going to taste it for seasoning because I know it needs seasoning. Oh yeah. It's really good. Oh, I love all those flavors, but it definitely needs some salt. Because we added the sugar, salt, some black pepper. Look how thick and delicious that is. Oh, it's so good. Now we're talking. Oh, like I told you, I love this with nothing but a really big piece of bread. Just like that. I gotta get a little bit of a taste with the bread. Mmm. So good. So sweet. Tiny bit tart from the vinegar. Beautifully salty. Perfect. I hope you guys have enjoyed spending time with me. Make this recipe. It's a vegetarian recipe that I'm sure you will never know it. Serve this with an amazing bottle of red wine and you'll be in heaven. To get this recipe and other recipes, check out my website at www.laureninthekitchen.com. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.